Hi, this is Anand Sharma from CXOTV.news, a flagship brand under the umbrella of Techplus Media Group. A warm hello and welcome to everybody. This is the second year of our webinar series titled Marketing Mondays. We have been touching upon various topics of interest to the marketing fraternity, and you can watch all the past events on demand at www.cxotv.news. Today's topic is successfully enabling channel partners through marketing. We all know how important channel partners are to craft the success story and enabling them to market the product or services. What is of paramount importance is for the success or performance is to enable them. Let's learn about what's going to make a difference and what's not. We have an eminent panel today to guide us through some of such queries. Okay, let me request the panelists to do a self-introduction. We have got Ms. Vaishali B.Shivshankar with us, Partner Marketing Leader from VMware. We have got Mr. Piyush Pushkal, Regional Product Marketing Lead from Dell. And we have got Mr. Mohammed Wasif, Partner Marketing Lead from SAP. I'm delighted and honored to have all of you on the panel. Let's start with Vaishali. Vaishali, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Anand. I'm Vaishali. Currently, I'm leading the partner marketing function for VMware. So coming to my experience, I've got close to 2 decades with the IT industry, spanning across sales, marketing, research, and intelligence. So when it comes to marketing, that's where my heart lies. So I've got a 360-degree view, I would say, an experience in it, where I've done field marketing, market intelligence, competitive intelligence, the Marcom piece, and now in the partner marketing function. So that's the place that I love to be, because that's where we get to meet a lot of partners, learn to do a lot of marketing functions with them. So that's where my heart lies, and I love this where I am. So that's about me.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. Piyush, you want to go next?
Yeah, thanks, Anand. So, to introduce myself, right now I'm managing the commercial desktop business for APJ and Dell. That's the current portfolio I'm managing. Been 18 years in the IT industry. Started my career in research in IDC, which is marketing consulting and firm, and then moved into Dell doing various functions in Dell, whether in regard to different marketing operations, business intelligence, strategy planning, field marketing, channel marketing, programs, and then campaign and then product marketing altogether. So it's been a good journey from a different facets and functions of marketing. And currently I'm enjoying the product management role right now in Dell.
Must be. Thank you so much, Piyush. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Wasif, why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Thank you so much, Anand. Good afternoon to all my fellow panelists. So I am responsible for the channel marketing for SAP India subcontinent. So I lead the various partner marketing efforts of our small business as well as mid-market and large enterprise partners. Responsible for various GTM motions for our flagship products like S/4HANA, RISE with SAP, and other cloud LOB solutions. Prior to this, I was working with Dell Technologies for almost 14 and a half years, where I was leading sales teams for North America as well as some of the EMEA countries. Having seen sales as well as now the side of marketing, I think it gives me a very, very good perspective of how the product is actually taken to the market and how this is delivered as a value to consumers. So we are happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We are equally delighted. Thank you so much, Vaishali, Piyush, and Wasif for joining us once again. What do we mean by go-to-market strategy or channel partners?
See, in any organization success, if I may, go-to-market strategy is a very important initiative which includes multiple functions of an organization, and it's a very action plan driving on, to look at what customers to target and how do we achieve the competition advantage, if I may want to put it that way, in a simple layman language. But the way you want to approach it is, a successful go-to-market strategy should have a market definition. What is my target market? Where do I sell my product and services? who are my target audience? What am I looking to address them with? What is their pain point, which my products and solution and services can support to? What should be my route to market? Do I engage through a different further through directly through the customers, or engage and collaborate with different service providers, or a different channel partner ecosystem accordingly in that. And when you try to define this, go-to-market strategy, then you try to figure out, okay, what product and positioning I want to go with it, and what kind of a selling proposition I should have for customer to consider my products and services. So market definition is very important. Customer target audience is equally important, and then arriving at your route to market to the customers and your product positioning and pricing encompasses the overall go-to-market strategy, if I may sum up.
That's really true. That's really true. Vaishali, you want to add something to what Piyush just mentioned?
Yeah, just to chime in, like as Piyush rightly said, it's just an action plan. But for me, when it comes to like an effective channel partner strategy, it's all about like enabling a multi-sided win-win relationship. I should also be winning, and even the partner should be winning. It's a win-win relationship that we strike. And this go-to-market plan is nothing but it's, I would say, similar lines of a joint business planning that we do along with the partners, with the whole objective or the goal, what we all agree is to increasing the revenue or expanded reach. And what is that we are going to take into the market together, so that together the outcome, what we achieve, both of us are in a win-win state. So that's where from a channel marketing strategy, I would say a GTM is very necessary. Like as rightly Piyush was mentioning, that what is the strategy, what the product you're going to go into, what audience and what segmentation. So while we understand with our partner or the ecosystem, what is that they are and what product they're going to go into, then we can have a joint planning going together, like a close to a business plan with the GTM together, and align it with the marketing flavors to what are the different various levers that will help them to achieve that overall objective.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vaishali. The next question is coming to you only. What are the levers to ensure that go-to-market strategy is successful?
So that's a good one. So as initially I was mentioning, that's like it's a joint business plan. So when we come across and do a joint business planning, so there's always a commitment on the plan. So it just can't be a one-way approach, nor I can push it down. So together we understand to come into a win-win situation. Okay, this is what we are going to do. This is a commitment. This is the objective with a fixed timeline. It just can't be a why. So there's a timeline. Within that timeline for this offering, this is what I'm going to get into. So for me, I would say for a successful GTM, the levers that or the metrics that's required is KPI, or a KPM needs to be agreed on. So while we are putting the strategy or a go-to-market way together, we need to come up with the agreement as to what are those key performance index or the metrics that we agree upon. It could be on two-prong approach. When it's to the channel partners, what is their engagement level? What is that they're doing? And when we do it through the partners, what is the pipeline that they're bringing on? Because end of the day, it's all we are going for the conversion and the increasing of the revenue. So what is the coverage that we are getting in through this partner, what they're going to bring on, the pipeline they're going to bring on the table, and the conversion rates, because it doesn't boil down only to the creation of the pipeline. What are the kind of lead conversions that we are going to tag along to them? And most importantly, while we put up all this, a weekly or a fortnightly cadence that we agree upon as to what is that together we need to do it, because it's just not a one-time affair that at the beginning of the quarter or in the year we plan and we just log off. I believe that together we need to go together to achieve this objective. And what are the kind of support that they need when we do marketing activities? What are the kind of tactics, the content, which is most important? Do they need any kind of support from us? So that's where together during these discussions, while we are planning any particular activity to achieve that objective, we are like playing hand in hand. So we're just not leaving them loose. It's together we are going to go and get to and achieve this now. Because for me, partner ecosystem is most important route to the market. I personally feel that, because that's where apart from our direct team, they give us that expanded reach. So getting to get their objectives aligned to ours and working together, providing them what are the assets or the content that they require, then I think those are the successful levers, and obviously measurable metrics, because all these are more than should be quantifiable. So what is that kind of an agreement we agree on? Pipeline, conversion rates, they are bringing on from the KPI and KPN both put together, we agree. And that should help us to get to this GTM strategy to be successful.
Absolutely. Makes sense, Vaishali. Thank you so much. I think Wasif is back with us. Wasif, why don't you give a quick introduction about yourself, and then we'll move on with bullying you with questions.
Sure. I don't mind. Anand, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. First of all, sincere apologies for that inconvenience. I guess, some of these technological challenges we have to just learn to deal with. So sorry.
No worries. Please go ahead.
Okay. So myself, I have been into this industry for almost 18 years. For the last 3 years, I am actually working with SAP. Last 18 months, I am managing the partner marketing piece for India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka as an India market unit. And prior to that, I've also handled the inside, which is a digital and the direct marketing component for SAP. Before that, I was also with Dell, just like with my fellow panelists. So I worked with Dell for almost 14 and a half years. There it was supporting the inside sales as well as merchandising for UK and North America's market. So about 18 years inside sales as well as marketing for some of the big brands, which I would say easier to sell and market compared to some of the other B2B OEMs. Yeah, so that's it about me.
Thank you so much, Wasif, and glad to have you on the session. So my next question comes to you, Wasif. Not sure if you heard the conversation we were having on successfully enabling channel partners through marketing. What would you suggest as to why few GTM fail and others succeed? Was a secret?
Right. Okay. So something that's we are reviewed every quarter. Okay. So I think it's no secret, but yes, of course, the various tactics, various GTM motions sometimes work, sometimes they do not work. Now, let me just maybe share some of the observations of attributes of those tactics which work. I think when you go to market with a message, with the product, and you have an alignment with your field sales and your product team and the finance team, I think the sync up within this entire ecosystem makes the same GTM, same attempt very successful. But if you do something independently, now I'm saying as a partner, let's say if a partner wants to do something independently and has not onboarded some of the other stakeholders, most importantly, the sales teams, the field team, the product, the pricing team. Now, with I think lack of coordination and with a lack of collaboration with some of these stakeholders, the same tactic and the similar GTM motion fails. Now, that's one. What we have seen in the last 2 years, 2.5 years now is that I think customers have become a lot more smarter. Okay. Gone are the days where big brands used to control that entire messaging and control the narrative and used to control the market. And there were obviously times when we used to go to market with the message and the product, and it used to get responded by consumers. Today we don't have that liberty, right? Our consumers are more smarter, they are more aware, and in fact, to be honest with you, they demand what's needed rather than we ask for a response to what our product caters to. So I think very essential attribute of some of the successful GTM motions, which have worked and which will always work, is to ensure that we respond to the behaviors of the consumers with our messaging and ensure that we're trying to solve some of these fundamental challenges with our solution offerings. And I think that will never go out of fashion and that will always work. Yeah, Anand, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Piyush, coming back to you.
Hey, Anand, sorry, before you jump ahead, I just wanted to add something, onto what Wasif was saying. I also think we need to also consider the way our channel partner ecosystem in India has evolved. The whole our organization scale of each channel organization leadership has evolved. And nowadays, the biggest important perspective for a successful GTM strategy with them is also to understand their core GTM strategy. Okay. Every channel partners have their own go-to-market, their own aspiration, their own goal. So if I'm an IT hardware, software, or services provider, I think biggest challenge will be for me, okay, what is he looking to grow with and where he's looking for growth and what is his perspective, what is his strengths on from a channel, from his sales team, from his marketing and pricing team, and then where can I fit my priorities into them. It's equally, it's like a marriage, if I may say. It's sometimes marriage fails, sometimes marriage becomes successful, but to get the right recipe for the marriage or right collaboration is very important, so that you really the better together story is the key for any GTM strategy. It always has to be 1 + 1 11, the power of synergy, and an amazing better together story, rather than just going, this is my priority, this is what we want to do, and this is what we want you to do, which may not fit into their strategy. Believe you me, he may say yes, or he may also say no, depending on the leadership style and quality we have. But the success remains once there is a harmony and the synergy in that agreed action plan and agreed approach, which matches to the requirement I have and also fits into the overall bigger umbrella of that channel organization growth priorities, and it ends up making him, everybody is there to earn money and make money. So it's a profitable growth for him, it's profitable for the organization and for the channel partner. I think that's a equal solid recipe which is required for a success. Just thought of adding that in.
Yeah,
Great.
just I want to add to what Wasif and Piyush said. So yeah, I completely echo my thoughts what Piyush was mentioning. It's together, like as I rightly initially mentioned, it's a win-win. So while we are drawing up that priority, because if there is a misalignment in priority, that's where whatever we try to do push down, it's going to fail. And the other thing also, I just want to add, which Piyush was mentioning, was we need to see to it when we, especially from a channel or a partner ecosystem, the competencies matter a lot. Their sales and technical competencies, if they are aligned to that for that product fit, then if we drive a GTM with them, then that could be I would say like a secret mantra or a recipe, because all this boils down to the executive commitment. As Piyush rightly mentioned, if we have an executive commitment on a priority that we are picking up, which is together, and they have the right competencies aligned to it, then any GTM, what is the rest of them will be the supporting peripherals, which will go in and make this as a successful strategy for us.
I have a contrary view also. Many times these partners are looking for guidance, some sort of, some sort of direction, okay, as to what will work, what will not work, because they understand that, the prime or the primary, partner might be working with many other smaller partners, right? So they look up to people like you, Piyush, to guide them as to what will work, what will not work, what has failed, what has succeeded, sort of thing, right? So I agree that it should not be forced upon them, but at the same point of time, I'm sure based on the leadership style, you are recommending things, and
No, so I'm not discounting, Anand, on the guidance or the bringing out the, I'll say, learning and best practices. Okay, that is always there. But the way I'm trying to bring that is, it's all about collaborative story. It's all about what we are seeing and hear from them what they are seeing. Let me be honest with you. At a different level of scale of the partner size or organization size, their competency and capability depends. Otherwise, there is a lot we can learn from each other. So I'm not saying it's not like one way or either way. It's all about what value I'm bringing on the table for him to understand and listen and capture in, and what she brings on the table. And that's a power of synergy comes in. And then you start to move on and collaborate and say, okay, these are the key areas. Okay, you are bringing this technology trend. This is where you are seeing the industry moving. This is where my sales team are talking about. I have set of customers saying, so I'm just giving an example. Okay, some technology is ramping in BFSI segment. I'm just thinking loud. That organization has an amazing sales coverage in BFSI. He'll say, okay, let's focus on, there is a marriage of synergy here. You have a technology and solution which I can take to my set of customers. I need a growth in my segment, and I need this sales force to grow. So those kind of, discussion and sharing, and that synergy on matching the priorities brings the win-win, power of, 1 + 1 = 11, if I may say.
Absolutely.
That's equally important.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely with you. Absolutely. My next question is coming to you only, Piyush, as to what can be marketing enabling initiatives for channel partners.
See, if you look at from a vendor perspective, I might say, as an IT hardware software services provider, there are multiple things organization can do for a channel partner. One is forget about there are specific co-MDF related funding which can drive marketing initiative. There are others, but the way I would like to put it is very simple as we need to approach this as in a 360 degree. You can't just focus on driving, co-funding or just or total funding only in demand gen. It has to have a complete awareness, driving enablement, and then complementing with demand gen. Without the enablement, without the focus on developing the core competency of the channel partner organization in regard to the products and solutions you want to take to the market, all our marketing activities may fail. So there are different levers of marketing can be taken at, whether you want to go offline, online, and do a different thing. So there are different perspectives from a marketing levers, but more important from an organization is leadership buy-in. Then you ensure that everybody top down is enabled on the priorities and program. And as Vaishali was mentioning earlier, there has to be a regular cadence of alignment, syncing up. It has to be there. What is what is working, what is not working. Sometimes I use a common phrase in my team meeting is like, sometimes you have to build the plane and fly the plane together, because that's how technology is changing today. You can't have everything at one time. So you have to continue building the plane and continue working together to keep flying it and let it not crash. So that's an approach will be, from a marketing enablement perspective, I'll say.
Great, great. No, I totally understand. Any new initiatives you have tried? You guys have tried in the recent past, Vaishali, Wasif, Piyush?
Can I take that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wasif.
So, early this year, we have tried, something which basically has shaken up the typical marketing approach of the last 2 years. Okay. So we know that last 2 years have been quite, all digital, remote, things like webinars and digital marketings and things like that, right? So this year we thought of doing something which is more drastic and of course which can really bring the customers out of their doors in the market. So we ran a bus. Okay, so we ran a bus with the name of Transformation Express, and we onboarded all our major partners to fund as well as own or co-own the entire campaign. And we drove for almost 7,000 kilometers, covering almost 18 industries, hubs, industrial cities across north to west to south, and holding up workshops, customer engagements, customer seminars, and as well as delivering the demo sessions, all in a bus. So we've created a console, we created like a mobile experience center with the content and with those screens using the AR VR gear, and of course the messaging was that we're bringing the technology to your doorsteps. Now this tactic in its own has of course a very unique value proposition, because one, it allows us to tell the world that we're doing something which is not so traditional and which is not generally IT companies indulge into. Second, it also gave us a significant highlight, right, where we can focus a lot on the overall experience. We can focus on the fact that we are bringing technology directly to your doorsteps, and then in the entire process, also ensure that our core solutions are also demonstrated. So it was very catchy. Of course, right from the rhythm and to the concept, and of course, the way the entire execution was finished. And it really helped drive a lot of momentum, both digitally, socially. In fact, if I can just compare some of the figures, so one of our large campaign globally get some X amount of social media outreach, and impressions. This campaign, Transformation Express, was 5X of that in India alone. So that's how magnificent this was in terms of outreach and in terms of getting the voice of the customer. And the highlight of this entire campaign is that it was conceptualized by the OEM, which is SAP. However, it was co-hosted, co-owned, and co-executed with the channel partners, right? And when we talk about the partner, a typical image that you have in your mind is of one small organization. But mind you, that's not the case all the time. I think with my fellow panelists will also agree that I'm talking about partner who is maybe as good as a 2,000 crore company. And it could also be an organization which is also, say, 20 crore company, right? So the size and the scale of the partnership will say obviously vary, and of course their own existence in the business vary. But and we had all size, all types of partnerships into this campaign. So this, I think, is a worth calling idea and tactic, which have seen a tremendous response from the market.
That's great. That's really great, and I'm glad that you shared this with us. Thank you so much, Wasif. So, Vaishali, over to you. What do you recommend? How should we measure success of channel partners' performance? It's a very, I won't say gray area, but at times a debatable area. When they say we did this, the prime says we also did this, but we didn't achieve the results, right? So go ahead, Vaishali, all yours.
So for me, Anand, so everybody, even my co-panelists will agree. See, as an old age goal, like saying goes, right? Like if you can't measure it, then you can't improve it. So KPIs or KPM is most important. So I think that will be like a measure for us to value our partnership programs, be it a long term or a short term. Even from a partnership level, the DG that they are bringing on, for everything, the metrics, like as initially when we said, like when Piyush was mentioning about the executive commitment, that's where I think introducing these KPIs, what is that together we will agree as a metrics for a long-term relationship and a success, and what are the short terms and the long term that we agree upon should be focused on. And then we can analyze and do this course correction, because as again, Piyush was mentioning that it is all agile marketing now. So it can't be like one stop, we plan it and then it goes on, because we all seen in pandemic time. We all started, we planned like every activity was an in-person. Suddenly things flipped and everything had to be switched over to a virtual, and we couldn't stick to it. So we have to be agile. So knowing this, I think these KPIs or KPMs will help us to keep fine-tuning this engine to make it more successful. So as I was mentioning earlier, what I would say is like usually during this, how do we get to know is to the partners. So one of the metrics what I suggest should be is like their enrollment and engagement level, because that will show the commitment as one of the metrics. Like if they are growing along with us, of course they would have enrolled with us, and through their engagement, they're growing up in the tier level. So that's where it boils down. Apart from just the numbers, there's also a relationship that is growing on. And through the partners, again, it boils down to the regular, what all of us measure, which is the pipeline, the bookings, the leads. It all boils down to the ROI. So the return on investment, because everywhere, be it any investment that from a marketing we try, we see what is the return that we're getting in form of a pipeline, quality pipeline that comes in from a demand generation activities. So that will help us to know the conversion rate. What are we converting through a partner bought-in pipeline, how much it's going through. That will help us to put as a metrics. So the other measurement that I would also love to see, or I would see that would be a best practice that I would think of is from me in learning perspective. So the training and learning perspective as to what are the kind of competencies and training that they are learning, each partner in their community, the sales, their pre-sales team, what are the kind of certifications they are putting into their kitty, and that is helping us to grow. Their engagement on our portals, because I agree almost all of the OEMs will have their partner portals. So the engagement that they have with us, the kind of assets, the labs that they're using, that will help us to measure. And those are the few KPIs and KPMs that we can measure to see the partnership, how they're growing. So that's a kind of perspective that I come from.
No, absolutely, Vaishali. I think you have hit the nail and given a very comprehensive response. Wasif, moving on to my next question.
Wasif has a point.
I'm sorry?
Wasif wants to make a point.
Yeah,
I would
Wasif.
like to add a small thing to what Vaishali said. Okay, so basically, Vaishali, I think metric management is, of course, I think it goes without saying. There is and there's a very interesting comment you made on ROI, right? I think we already have that established. For all the MTF and the BTF money that gets spent. So for every dollar that's spent, there is a minimum expectations that we have, like 20x, 25x, whatever. The benchmark can vary from country to country, but there is a benchmark of X worth of pipeline that the partner is expected to generate. And then whatever the pipeline has been generated, there is again a benchmarking of a minimum conversion percentage. Now that's basically is logged in and baked in into an annual financial plans that the partners are expected to submit and reviewed quarterly. So there is the entire program of the planning and management of this business plan, which goes into the measure of success, which defines the partnership credits and also defines some of the other benefits which otherwise are are very ad hoc and of course can't really be measured most of the time. And please understand, when we talk about the partnership is of various level, especially in OEM like a SaaS company like SAP. So partnership has various levels. We have a partnership for selling or reselling of licenses. We have partnership of servicing, implementation, and after sales support services. We also have partnership of co-innovation and development of various technologies on SAP platforms, right? So, but each level for each partnership, there is a different level of success, right? Not everybody is expected to go and deliver marketing and build pipe. Not everybody is expected to close sale. Not everyone is expected to service, right? Now, whoever is partnered with us on those respective competencies, there is a measure of success at each of those domains.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's it. I wanted to just add to that. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Wasif. Great. It was. Perhaps moving on to my last question, and I'll do a round robin here. And a quick responses. Piyush, any tips or any guidance you want to give to, or you want to share with fellow marketeers on channel marketing?
The way I would like to suggest is, there is no one-stop solution for all channel partners same. So it's not a peanut butter spread. So you need to understand each partner very differently and uniquely with their unique strengths and weakness. And then how you can bring and complement that strength of them and have the synergy. And then work out your, go-to-market strategy, and your measure of success would be also different. As Wasif was suggesting, certain different partners are focused on different solutions and services, So based on that, you arrive at that, and look into them. And most importantly is that have a learning disposition, if I may say. We have a learning and open listening space. They are somewhere, I will still give credit to them. They might be more closer to customer than us, so there might be better voice of customer. So keep that disposition when you're working and and aggressively pushing your agenda and their agenda together to arrive business outcomes. So that would be very key to when you start engaging with them for a successful plan.
Great. Thank you so much, Piyush. Vaishali, tips from your end.
I would not say like a tip or something. So I think almost all of us are doing for this space as a fellow channel marketer. The only thing what I've learned is it's a fantastic space to be in. Like how Piyush was mentioning, it's a two-way learning process. So in one role, I'll say being a partner marketer, I get to meet like close to like so many partner ecosystem in various level, like how Wasif was mentioning, different partner, different specialty. Each one has their own set of learning, and it's a two-way process. They learn from us, we learn from them. And with that, we also see that there's so much of best practices that comes out. Bottom line, I would say for my fellow marketeers, just go with the flow, enjoy. It should just not be I'm an OEM, I dictate, because I feel that gone are those days. Now it's all come down to like a win-win. Each of them, we have so many, ecosystem is very important. They have so many OEMs and we also need those partners. The same partner cater to multiple OEMs. So it's a best way, like how Piyush was mentioning, strike with synergy, where both of us will go together and both will come back with a happy face. So I think just go with the flow and enjoy. So both of us have got something to learn together and get the best practice going.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. Appreciate that. Wasif, quick one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So Anand, there's something that I would like to share. So typically a partner or a channel partner organization may not have inbuilt internal capabilities of marketing, right? I mean, more often than not, you would see you don't have marketeers in partner organizations. You have solution experts, you have sales experts, right? You have technologists. They don't have marketeers, right? And we are very, very clear with that approach, like how channel partners are our partners. We encourage channel partners to build partners who can be their marketing partners. Okay. And I'm not saying that just because we're talking today, like CXO group, I mean, your own group, Techplus Media Group. Now, you have certain capabilities, right? When it comes to doing demand gen, holding customer conferences, etc. Channel partners of OEMs do not have those capabilities. Why not they build a partnership ecosystem with organizations like yours or any other, in the industry to go and translate these messages through your motions and build that. And in fact, this is one of the practices that we have in India for SAP. We have a panel of MSBs, which is nothing but internal terminology for some of the marketing agencies, whom SAP has validated, evaluated, and onboarded, and have trained them on our branding guidelines, on our go-to-market strategies, on our solution messaging, of course, the various do's and don'ts. And we've kind of got that ecosystem ready. Like how I have channel partners who are responsible for using my MDF, generating demand and building business. I also have this set of partners who I also call them as partners, although they are not certified SAP partner, but they are partners in crime, of course. And they are responsible for carrying out some of these go-to-market strategies and initiatives, which our channel partners are not capable to do that, which creates that win-win situation. And our partnership is much larger today. Without taking name, some of the very, very high popular media as well as marketing focused agencies or some of the inside data driven agencies, they understand some of the SAP product solutions very well. They know what is S4HANA and who is this meant for. Just an example. So that's something I think we should.
No, great insight, Wasif. Thanks for sharing this. That brings us to the closure of the discussion. It has been a fantastic session with Vaishali, Piyush, and Wasif, and it was indeed a great learning for me. I hope it was equally enriching for you who will be watching this. I thank you once again, Vaishali, Piyush, and Wasif, for joining us today and sharing the insights with us. For the audience, you can watch the past Marketing Mondays sessions on www.cxotv.news. Keep watching for more interesting upcoming sessions under Marketing Mondays. I wish you all the success and a great week ahead. Stay safe and take care. Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you once again, Piyush, Vaishali, Wasif.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.